and he began to cough uncontrollably. His aides rushed to his side, offering water and trying to calm him down. Chief Igede, alarmed and embarrassed, hurried over. "Your Excellency, are you all right?" he asked, his voice filled with concern. Igede House of Commotion. Chief Igede, a towering figure of wealth and influence, resided in the heart of Umuofia, a bustling village known for its rich traditions and lively community. Chief Igede's compound was a sprawling estate, bustling with activity and echoing with laughter and occasional disputes. The chief was a proud man, not just of his status but of his large family, consisting of 3 wives and a multitude of children. Adaku, the first wife, was a woman of strong will and a keen sense of authority. Her years in the household had cemented her position as the matriarch, and she took great pride in managing the home. Adaku was known for her sharp tongue and quick wit, never shying away from a confrontation if she felt it necessary. She was the first to rise in the morning and the last to go to bed, ensuring everything was in order. Ngozi, the second wife, was the complete opposite of Adaku. She was gentle and soft-spoken, with a heart as big as the yam barn. Ngozi was the peacemaker, always trying to smooth over the inevitable conflicts that arose in such a large household. She had a knack for calming tempers and finding common ground, often stepping in to mediate disputes with a kind word or a thoughtful gesture. Ifunanya, the third and youngest wife, was a spirited woman with a mischievous glint in her eye. She was often the instigator of playful antics and was known for her infectious laughter. Ifunanya had a penchant for causing minor chaos, much to the amusement and sometimes frustration of her co-wives and Chief Igede. Chief Igede's children were as varied as the colors of a rainbow. There was Chinedu, the eldest son, who was following in his father's footsteps, learning the ways of leadership and the intricacies of village politics. Chinedu was serious and often burdened by the expectations placed upon him. His younger brother Obina was the family jester, always ready with a joke or a prank. His antics were a constant source of entertainment and exasperation. Then there was Nnena, the eldest daughter, who had inherited her mother Adaku's strong will. She was fiercely intelligent and often found herself mediating disputes among her siblings, much like Ngozi. Chiamaka and Chidinma, the mischievous twin daughters of Ifunanya, were known for their playful pranks, often leaving everyone guessing who did what. The younger children, still innocent and full of energy, included little Ekene, who had a curious mind and a penchant for wandering off, and baby Amarachi, whose innocent giggles could light up the gloomiest of days. Life in Chief Igede's compound was never dull. Each morning the day began with a flurry of activity as the wives and children prepared for the day. Adaku, always the first to rise, would start the fires and begin cooking breakfast, barking orders to the older children to fetch water or sweep the compound. Ngozi would quietly follow, helping wherever needed, her gentle voice providing a stark contrast to Adaku's commanding tone. Ifunanya, often the last to wake, would join the fray with a yawn and a stretch, immediately adding her own brand of chaos to the mix. One such morning, as Adaku was stirring a pot of soup and Ngozi was plaiting Nina's hair, Ifunanya decided it was the perfect time to play a prank. She filled a small gourd with water and with a mischievous grin, tiptoed behind Adaku and splashed her. Adaku spun around, her face a mixture of shock and anger. "Ifunanya, have you lost your senses?" she bellowed. Ifunanya burst into laughter, her eyes sparkling with mischief. "Oh, Adaku, you should see your face. Lighten up a little." Before Adaku could retort, Obina joined in, laughing uncontrollably. "Mama, you look like you've seen a ghost," he teased. Even Ngozi couldn't help but smile as she tried to stifle her laughter. "Ifunanya, you will be the death of us all," she said, shaking her head. The commotion drew Chief Igede, who had been enjoying a quiet moment in his hut, planning the day's village council meeting. "What is going on here?" he demanded, though his eyes twinkled with amusement. "Ifunanya thinks it's funny to drench people while they're working." Adaku huffed, her dignity slightly ruffled, but her anger already fading. Chief Igede chuckled. "Ifunanya, you must learn to respect your elders. Now, Adaku and Ngozi, let's have breakfast in peace. We have a long day ahead." Breakfast was a lively affair, with children chattering and the wives exchanging news and gossip. Chinedu, as the eldest, often tried to maintain order, but his efforts were usually in vain. This morning was no different. As they sat down to eat, Chinedu tried to steer the conversation to serious matters. "Father, we need to discuss the new irrigation project for the village." But before Chief Igede could respond, Chiamaka and Chidinma started arguing over who got the larger portion of yam. "I had the smaller piece yesterday," Chidinma protested. "No, you didn't. You're lying," Chiamaka shot back, her eyes narrowing. Chief Igede sighed, shaking his head. "Girls, there is enough food for everyone. Chinedu, we will discuss the project after breakfast." Just as they were finishing their meal, a commotion at the entrance of the compound caught their attention. It was Ease, the village's flamboyant gossip and self-appointed news reporter, rushing in with a look of urgency. "Ike, what brings you here so early?" Chief Igede asked, raising an eyebrow. "Chief, there is big news," Ease exclaimed, almost out of breath. "The elders are saying you are to receive a visit from the governor next week." The household fell silent, and all eyes turned to Chief Igede. A visit from the governor was a significant event, one that required meticulous preparation. Adaku was the first to break the silence. "We must start preparing immediately. There is so much to do." Ngozi nodded in agreement. "We need to clean the entire compound, prepare the best dishes, and ensure everything is perfect." Ifunanya, ever the joker, grinned. "Maybe we can finally use those fancy plates Adaku hides in the cupboard." Adaku shot her a look but couldn't suppress a smile. "Yes, Ifunanya, even the fancy plates." Chief Igede stood, feeling a mix of pride and pressure. "Ike, thank you for the news. Please inform the council that we will meet later to discuss the arrangements. And as for my household, we have work to do." The next few days were a whirlwind of activity. Adaku took charge of cleaning, ordering the children around with military precision. "Chiamaka, Chidinma, scrub the floors until they shine. Obina, sweep the yard. Chinedu, help me with the storeroom." Ngozi focused on the cooking, enlisting Nena and the younger children to help prepare the best dishes. The aroma of spices and freshly cooked food filled the air, making everyone's mouth water in anticipation. Ifunanya, on the other hand, decided to take on the task of decorating. She had a knack for aesthetics and transformed the compound with vibrant cloths and beautifully arranged flowers. However, her methods were unconventional, and she often roped in the children for her quirky ideas. One afternoon, as they were hanging decorations, Ifunanya turned to Obina with a gleam in her eye. "Let's hang some of these lanterns from the mango tree. It will look beautiful at night." Obina, always up for an adventure, nodded eagerly. "Great idea, Mama, but how do we get up there?" Ifunanya grinned and pointed to a rickety ladder leaning against the wall. "We climb, of course." As they precariously balanced on the ladder, trying to hang the lanterns, Ngozi walked by and gasped, "Ifunanya, Obina, be careful. You will break your necks." Ifunanya laughed. "Don't worry, Ngozi. We are almost done. And look how beautiful it is." Chief Igede, observing the scene from a distance, couldn't help but smile. Despite the chaos, there was a sense of unity and love in his household. He approached Ifunanya and Obina, shaking his head with a chuckle. "You two are a sight to behold. But be careful. I need everyone in one piece for the governor's visit." The day of the governor's visit arrived, and the compound was in immaculate condition. The children were dressed in their finest clothes, the wives had prepared a feast fit for a king, and the decorations added a festive touch to the surroundings. Chief Igede stood at the entrance, welcoming the governor and his entourage with the dignity and grace befitting his status. As they sat down for the meal, the governor looked around, clearly impressed by the hospitality. "This is truly remarkable, Chief Igede," the governor said, taking a bite of Ngozi's expertly prepared jollof rice. "Your family has outdone themselves." Adaku beamed with pride, Ngozi blushed with pleasure, and Ifunanya couldn't resist a cheeky comment. "Thank you, Your Excellency," Chief Igede replied, smiling broadly. "My family and I are honored by your visit." As the meal progressed, the atmosphere was warm and cordial. The governor and his entourage enjoyed the sumptuous dishes, while Chief Igede and his family exchanged polite conversation. Everything seemed to be going perfectly until the twins, Chiamaka and Chidinma, decided to add a touch of their signature mischief. Seated quietly at the children's table, Chiamaka nudged her sister. "Do you think the governor has ever tried pepper soup as hot as Mama Adaku's? Shall we?" With identical grins, the twins concocted a plan. They stealthily added a generous spoonful of extra pepper to the soup bowl intended for the governor. As they did, their younger brother Ekene, curious and unsuspecting, wandered over. "What are you doing?" he asked, peering into the bowl. "Just adding a little extra spice," Chiamaka whispered, winking at him. "Now shush and go back to your seat." Eken, wide-eyed and excited about the secret mission, scampered off. Moments later, a servant brought the doctored soup to the governor, who took a hearty spoonful. The effect was immediate. The governor's face turned red and he began to cough uncontrollably. His aides rushed to his side, offering water and trying to calm him down. Chief Igede, alarmed and embarrassed, hurried over. "Your Excellency, are you all right?" he asked, his voice filled with concern. The governor, after gulping down a glass of water, managed a strained smile. "Quite the spicy dish, Chief Igede. It certainly clears the sinuses." Adaku, recognizing her distinctive pepper soup, shot a glance at the twins, who were trying to stifle their laughter. "Chiamaka, Chidinma, what have you done?" she hissed, though her voice was low enough to avoid drawing further attention. The twins, realizing they had been caught, gave their mother innocent looks. "We just wanted the governor to experience the full flavor, Mama," Chidinma said sweetly. Ifunanya, overhearing the exchange, burst into laughter, unable to contain herself. "Oh, you girls, even the governor is not safe from your pranks." Despite the initial chaos, the governor took the incident in stride, and the mood lightened. He even joked about the experience, praising the enthusiastic culinary traditions of Umuofia. Chief Igede, though relieved, made a mental note to keep a closer eye on the twins in the future. After the governor and his entourage departed, the family gathered in the courtyard to reflect on the day's events. Chief Igede stood in the center, a mix of pride and exasperation on his face. "Today was both a triumph and a lesson," he began, looking around at his family. "We managed to impress the governor, but not without a few hiccups." Adaku stepped forward, her expression stern but softened by a hint of amusement. "Chiamaka, Chidinma, your prank could have caused serious trouble. You must learn to think before you act." The twins nodded, their mischievous grins replaced by contrite expressions. "We're sorry, Mama," they said in unison. Ngozi, ever the peacemaker, added, "Let's all remember that while fun and laughter are important, respect and consideration for our guests are equally crucial." Ifunanya couldn't resist one last comment. "But I must admit it was quite entertaining. The governor will surely remember his visit to our home." Chief Igede chuckled, shaking his head. "Indeed, Ifunanya. Now let's clean up and get some rest. We've earned it." Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like, share and press the notification button for more interesting stories. See you in the next story.